This is KGW News at Sunrise.
It was important to rally the community to come together and do this in support of the officer that's, fighting for his life.
She's talking about the deputy shot while serving an eviction notice in Tualatin. He's in critical condition this morning. We'll walk you through what we know and what we're working to find out.
And armed officers will continue to roam school halls in the Beaverton School District. But City Council approved a new proposal that includes a few changes to how those officers interact with students. Plus,
we all share this resource and we need to figure out how to be as responsible as possible with it.
The resource that rancher is talking about is water. Local ranchers need a lot of it to help grow the plants that feed their cattle. Coming up, we're going to hear about a new flower that's being tested, one that will still keep the cattle fed, but hopefully without using as much water.
Good Thursday morning, everyone. As I like to say, Friday Eve. We're about that close from the weekend, but I don't want to rush you. Although I've never felt rushed getting to the weekend.
I know, true story, not to get personal, but I'm in the shower. And I'm thinking this morning, Brenda's going to say it's Friday Eve, and I was so excited to hear you say that because I'm ready for the weekend. Yeah. All right, let's get you going to our Shackwiz Casino Resort camera. Thanks for not letting me down, Brenda. We have clouds that have returned to the coast this morning. Afternoon sun is expected, 57 degrees. So far, not seeing anything inland, so there it is. Beautiful blue skies up top. Once again, we're at 61 currently. Here in Portland, Salem, and Vancouver today, almost identical to yesterday. Sunny skies, 71 at noon. We'll be back up to about 84 for a high temperature. Back to you.
Thank you, Rod. Today, we're expecting an update on the deputy injured in a shooting while serving an eviction notice in Tualatin.
He was flown to Legacy Emmanuel Hospital in North Portland, and at last check, he remains in critical condition there. Devin Haskins is outside the hospital for us this morning. So, Devin, walk us through what we know so far about yesterday's shooting.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Just as quickly as that helicopter from Life Flight landed here at the hospital grounds, the parking lot here at the hospital, police and Washington County Sheriff's deputies showing their support for that injured deputy that was brought here. This all happened around 9:30 yesterday morning at the Forest Rim Apartments down in Tualatin. Deputies were serving an eviction notice there. Just before 10:30, deputies told dispatch that they were fighting with a person inside the apartment they were trying to detain. Seconds later, deputies say the suspect shot at them, hitting the deputy multiple times, and then the suspect barricaded themselves inside that apartment. At least one deputy returned fire, we're told, but it's not known if the suspect was hit. Then around 1 p.m., the Washington County Sheriff's Office said there was no further danger to the public. Washington County Sheriff Pat Garrett later told reporters that the suspect was found dead inside the apartment. He said SWAT officers never fired their weapons. Then just before sunset yesterday evening, the Sherwood Police Department hosted a community gathering for people to show up and show their support.
It certainly hits close to home. It does rattle the cages a bit, and just reminding us the vulnerability and the job that we do. We recognize that we signed up for this, yet when it hits close to home like this, it brings us back together.
Now, we still don't know the name of the deputy that was injured, but Washington County Sheriff Pat Garrett did describe the deputy as compassionate, resilient, tenacious, and a complete professional. We're hoping to learn more about that deputy's condition later on today. For now, we're sending it back to you guys.
Thank you, Devin, and we will continue monitoring the deputy's condition and also bring you any new details on the investigation. Look for updates on KGW.com, our mobile app, and on our social media channels.
Our next story this morning takes us to the Powellhurst-Gilbert neighborhood of Southeast Portland. That's where a woman was killed in a shooting. Police say this happened at about 5:30 yesterday evening on Southeast 111th Avenue. Police say they tried to perform first aid on the woman before EMS arrived, but she died at the scene. So far, no one has been arrested.
And we have an update on the deadly shooting that happened at Legacy Good Samaritan Hospital on Saturday. Portland police released a timeline of what happened after they got the initial call. This is what they sent us. It kind of looks a little convoluted, right? There's a lot going on, so we're going to walk you through a few of the key points. The first call came in at 10:55 a.m. Officers got to the scene about 10 minutes later. Then, within minutes, dispatch told police a security guard had been shot, and then the hospital went into lockdown. Hospital security footage shows the suspect leaving the hospital at about 11:18. Portland police then initiated a citywide response to try to follow up on possible leads. That would continue for the next hour or so. It was at about 12:30 when officers say they spotted a man matching the suspect's description, apparently lying in some bushes in Northwest Portland before he got into a van. Officers tailed it, eventually stopped it in Gresham. There was a standoff, and at some point, officers shot and killed the suspect. Again, those are just a few of the bullet points. Portland police posted the exact timeline on its social media pages if you'd like to take a look for yourself.
We want to show you this photograph this morning. Portland police tell us they need your help finding this missing 11-year-old boy. His name is Jonathan Blacker. He ran away from his home in the 8100 block of Southeast 52nd Avenue. Jonathan was last seen at 11:30 yesterday morning at Milwaukee Bay Park on McLaughlin Boulevard. Police say he was likely wearing a black and orange helmet, carrying a tan messenger bag, and riding a silver Huffy mountain bike. If you see Jonathan Blacker, you're asked to call 911. Well, starting this school year, police officers will have a new title and a new role in the Beaverton School District. They'll be called Youth Services Officers instead of School Resource Officers. They'll still patrol campuses, but they won't be involved in student discipline or respond to mental health crises unless a student is a risk to themselves or others. Critics argue the money for these youth services officers could have been better spent.
We're looking at resources for police on campus versus resources for more mental health support on campus. I think our association is always going to lean toward we need more resources for mental health on campus.
The city, school district, and outside agencies will divide the costs for this program.
All right, before we get back to Rod for a look at today's forecast, we do have an update on a pair of wildfires that are burning around the region right now. We're going to start this update in Lincoln County. So that's where the Sam's Creek fire has been burning. We can tell you this morning that that fire is now under control. It's located a few miles east of Toledo at Sam's Creek Road and Highway 20. Level 1 evacuation orders are still in place for all of Sam Creek's Road, areas west of Sam Creek's Road to Pioneer Mountain Loop at Cook Road, and also all of Cook Road. The officials will reassess lifting those orders later this morning. Second fire we want to mention is the Bedrock Fire. This is the one that's burning east of Eugene, and this is a look at the smoke from the Bedrock Fire. This one has burned almost 6,200 acres at this point and remains 0% contained. The National Weather Service posted this photo yesterday morning. But Rod, you were saying smoke will still be a problem for that area today.
Yeah, so it's been particularly smoky coming over Santiam Pass down into the Sisters area, for example. They still have unhealthy air quality in southern Deschutes County around Lapine. And it's that fire, which is one of the bigger ones we've got, but it just continues to be a smoke maker. Let's, and I'll get you to air quality in a moment. Let's start off by showing you that we're pretty quiet overall. There's a little bit of rain that's popped out in eastern Oregon. You can see it right here. There's Baker City. Along the Blue Mountains, the La Grande, this is not expected to last. Dry weather is expected in your forecast as we get going through the day. And then here on the west side, another day, beautiful blue skies over Portland from the Wells Fargo camera. We're at 61 degrees. Here are the temperatures right now, 56 down in Salem. We do have cloudiness up and down the coast. Haven't had that the last couple of mornings, but we do right now. 58 degrees up in Astoria. Sunshine expected to come for you folks. Generally speaking, no issues if you're traveling around our region today, minus the concern of visibility and air quality from wildfire smoke. So the worst of it is still down here in southern Oregon. Now, the National Weather Service, or the folks that issue these advisories, I should say, have dropped the advisory for Deschutes County, but we still have advisories up for Lakeview, Klamath Basin, down into Medford. Now, as I mentioned, Deschutes County has been cleared, but check this out. There's southern Deschutes County. The air's still unhealthy. That's a sensor in the Lapine area and still moderate. And again, this is still smoke from the Bedrock fire, which is outside of Eugene, burning right about here, pushing that smoke in. Much of the state is seeing good air quality, so that's good news. Okay, at the coast today, morning clouds, afternoon sun, 60. Some areas will get up to 70 degrees. Winds just 5 to 15 miles per hour. Here in the valley, I tell you what, we're on a run of pretty pleasant weather for late July. Warm, but it's late July. Winds northwest 5 to 15, 83 to 84 between McMinnville, Salem, and down in Corvallis. Similar numbers up in the southwest Washington. And these are similar numbers to yesterday. And I don't see a lot of change in our weather tomorrow. I don't see a lot of change in our weather Saturday either. So I'm going 84, 84, 84. Could have some morning clouds here in the valley, potentially Sunday. I've pulled those rain chances that I was watching. And then here's the first day of August, Tuesday 88, and there's Wednesday at 91. And we could be in the 90s that first weekend of August. We'll talk more about the August outlook coming up in just a moment. Back to you.
Okay, thank you, Rod.